Hello everyone. I wanted to do a little share with you because I had recently purchased a Tim Holtz, what's it called? Distress Marker Spritzer. And my thinking on this was, well, first off, I was super excited, and I'm still excited about it. But what I was thinking is that I thought, well, this would be a really cost-effective way to be able to use these markers because they are a lot cheaper than the Copic markers. So the object of this spritzer is that this barrel inside, with this barrel inside, it'll accommodate the distress markers or a skinny marker. It says on the packaging that somewhere on here, variety of water-based markers. So, even though it says water-based, but these are alcohol, this barrel inside, as I started to say, it does remove, so that way it will hold the larger size markers. Let me unscrew that a little bit more. And that slides out. So when that's removed, you're supposed to be able to put the larger size markers. So I just wanted to share this with you in case anybody else has any of the Spectrum Noir and you had the same thinking process that I had, that what a great way to use these markers. They do not fit. This needs to come forward enough that this brush tip is going to be underneath this air nozzle, and I can't get it to fit, and I don't want to force it because I'm afraid I'll just break my marker or something. So, and I have that pin all the way down. It's not sticking up at all whatsoever in there. So basically, in a nutshell, these do not fit in there. I do not have any of the new markers. They do have the newer style of the Spectrum Noir, and I do plan on buying some of those eventually. Not sure when, but but for now, this is all I had, so that's what I tried. They do, however, work for the Copics, and you just slide it in there, and you line it underneath that nozzle, and you screw that to hold it in place, and then you put your stencil there, and well, I'm blowing it everywhere. The closer you hold it, the larger the droplets are going to be, and the farther away you hold it, it's going to be a finer mist. I think evidently this marker is pretty moist, or I'm still holding it too close, but I'm getting larger droplets there, and I'm not getting much of a fine mist at all. So I guess that's a little bit of a learning curve I'll have to get used to. As you can see, the large drops happen, but not so much the small, and I'm not getting much of a definition of a pattern there. So that's going to take some practice if I decide I want to use the Copic. They suggest to give it a few squeezes to clean out that air barrel, just in case, I guess in case some of the ink gets sucked back up into the nozzle somehow. So then you put this in. I gotta slide that back out, twist it back out. Whoop. Slide that in, screw this back, and I want my brush end of this marker. There's a fine tip, and then there's the brush tip. So let's put this in and screw that in place. And I'm going to move this actually to a different spot. Try to clear off some of that. Trying to do this so I don't get my arm in the way. Now I did this yesterday or the day before, was kind of playing around with it, and I didn't have any trouble with these distress markers. It actually worked pretty well, but maybe this particular marker, I did use a different marker. Oh, there it goes. I didn't have it lined up properly. So I don't know if my fat arm is in the way. But as I said, you know, if you're the closer you are, the more prominent of a mist you're going to get. So this is just going to take some practice, of course, and it's hard to do, of course, when you're trying to film. But I thought this was going to be a lot of fun for making different background images or patterns for when I make cards or mixed media or anything. It would be fun. So you can see the pattern there from the stencil. And I'm not professional by no means, so I'm sure others do this much better than what I do. But I just wanted to show that, share it with you, what I had experienced with the Spectrum Noir markers. They do not fit in there for me. So maybe somebody else they do, but not for me. And I really didn't get the Copic. I don't think the Copics work in there that great either, really. So, but let me clear this out of the way. You can see this is just inexpensive packing paper. You can see the mist. The green is the Copic marker, and then the other marker is the distress marker, and it does come out a whole lot better and a whole lot easier. So I would probably, my choice so far would be the distress markers. And then I need to get down the technique a little bit better. I thought I would share with you a card that I made, and this was an image I had back in my stash. I'm not even really sure where I got it from because I have had it for a while. And I colored that, and the paper that I used besides the background cardstock is from the Kirby Teasdale paper collection, so I was glad to finally be able to use some of that again. I did the inside of the card like this, very simple, and then the back, I still have to stamp the back. And then this is some of the crinkle seam binding that I had bought on Zibbit, I believe. It was either Zibbit or Etsy, and I had shared this in a previous haul video, the person that I had ordered it from, and she sent some little extra goodies, and one of these little wooden buttons was part of the goodies, so that was nice. And then I punched out a few little butterflies and placed that on the card as well. So, and then I thought I would share with you, let me set this so I don't get any ink on it anywhere. This was the first mini quilt that I had started, and I had showed you before that I was making this. This is a pattern that I picked up at last year's quilt show in Paducah, Kentucky, which is at the end of this month, and I'm planning on going to that again, so I'm looking forward to that. But I just finally got to do this little kit or pattern, and well, it did come with the fabric, so it was really a kit. But however, this was kind of a learning curve for me. I had never made one of these before, and they give you a few different suggestions how you can finish off and do the quilting process, and the suggestions that I chose, it's not my favorite method of doing. So I've learned from this project, if I do more, how I want to do it differently the next time. I also plan on sewing on a few, maybe some antique buttons or doing some lace or something. So, and there's a little pocket in the back here, so that way I can hang it on a rod. And so I just thought I would share that with you. I finally got that for the most part finished. I mean, it's finished, it's just if I choose to embellish it. And then this is I do the knitting looms. This is the pattern called Leafy Dragon Scarf, and I use the Caron Soft yarn for this, and I really enjoyed working with this pattern. This was kind of my project to go that I would keep in a bag, and I would take it everywhere I went, and I would do a few rows at a time. So I was happy to finally finish this one, even though winter's pretty much over with. I did get to wear it last Saturday because it was kind of cold and damp here, but so I'll have it for next winter. But it's really soft. I really like this pattern a lot, and I believe I found it on Ravelry.com, and it's called Leafy Dragon Scarf. And then I was just playing around a little bit. This is all using scrap paper because I was wanting to see different sizes. We have another party coming up. Not too long ago, you saw that I was preparing for a baby shower. Well, we have some dear friends that are moving away, and we are trying to come up with some different ideas what we want to do for the going away party for them. So we're not going to go with this, but I was just thinking that is a really pretty pattern. I think I'm going to cut out another one of these in a thicker material that I can use for stenciling. That would be pretty for a winter background. And these images that I'm showing you come from one of my favorite Cricut cartridges called Art Philosophy. I always share this one. Just about every time I use my Cricut, I'm using this cartridge. It's one of my favorites. So I did that one, and then this one, I cut this out of a scrap piece of paper, kind of playing around trying to find out what size we want to go with. But we're thinking about doing candles on doilies on some of the centerpieces. So that is also in the Cricut Art Philosophy cartridge. And this was just an idea that we were thinking about making these larger for other tables. And so that's just a little bit of the fun that I've been having lately, and I will soon have some exciting things to share with you coming up. And I do have a few more projects that I have to work on, so hopefully I'll be able to share those with you as well. So I hope everyone's doing great and you're getting some fun crafty time in. Have a great day. Bye.